Well, the field gets smaller. New feature table, and in seat number 1, he's a sole survivor. Pretty big name on the UK scene, Rob Sherwood. Seat number 2, back on the feature table, the old master, Ben Roberts from the UK, hanging in with 290. And the chip leader in the tournament right now, only 20 years old from the UK, young James Mitchell. On his left, we see him, the Hungarian. He's got a lot of play, 217,500, Ben Juhas. One of the real up-and-comers on the Irish scene, they call him the multiplier. He's had some results, Peter Murphy. And from the Netherlands, Sean van Sluis, 498,000. The Spaniard Francisco Torres with 188.5 and a big smile. And rounding out this table, the German René Freimann, 241,000. He looks ready for business.
I'm still not sure if there was the result I wanted. I still asked.
Well, as you said, you had a lot of opportunity in the older ones, played Ben in cash games. I mean, was he ever an emotional sort of guy when he was younger, Dan? Ben?
No, I don't ever. If you beat him with a hand, no matter what the beat is, he'd smile and say, nice hand, or nice play. Even if you made an awful play.
Look at this. This is pretty unavoidable, isn't it?
Well, I can't see Juhas taking a conservative line here.
No, Juhas has been waiting for this. Of course, it's against Ben, so he might actually just, he might just call this.
We saw him just flat call with an ace-king
40,500
against that Gaul earlier, but...
Oh, re-raised. Oh, he made the mini raise. He wants to...
He wants it every way.
he wants to have a decision. If Ben goes all in, he's going to make up his mind. He's probably going to throw the hand away if Ben comes back over the top.
You think so?
I think he's going to call him.
You might be right, but the mini raise doesn't make sense. If he's going to go all in.
Because his stack's not really big enough to be wanting to play a flop in position with ace-king, right? So he doesn't want to get called
with a straight call. Right. Yeah, he had enough. He had the right chips to play a straight call against Ben. But if you're going to make a raise against Ben, you got to make a bigger raise than this. You don't want to give Ben a free shot at you. Well, Ben's definitely not going to allow him to have a free shot at him. I'll tell you that.
Oh no, Ben's too much of a gentleman to take advantage.
Here's to 100,000.
He made it 100,000.
Raise 100,000 on top. Sorry.
And does that come under the heading of your
All in?
little sneaky mini raise? I guess not, anyway.
Yeah, I would consider...
I'd have thought the re-raise from Ben actually gave him a chance to get away from it, but I think I'd have preferred an all-in re-raise from Ben.
I was surprised Ben was supposed to probably make a bigger raise than that.
There we go.
Because that looks too much like, please raise me again.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben is figuring his opponent's not sophisticated enough to realize what's going on.
Well, Juhas been in the merry-go-round here, and it's not the worst shape you can be in with ace-king, but it's...
No. Ben was, I think, quite frankly, Ben was just as happy if he'd throw the hand away. He wins the money in the pot in the center. But
yeah, I mean, look at this. 73,000 is all Ben's got backwards. This is pretty crucial for his tournament.
That's yeah, right. That's why Ben.
Well,
Ben
it's pretty crucial for Juhas as well, because he doesn't have the luxury of 73,000 back. But
that's why Ben should never call there. Right? Where's the ace?
Good flop for Ben.
500,000. The winner of this pot's going to be, I think, in the top 3 or 4 in chips.
I don't think anybody else has passed an ace. Oh
my God.
Ought to be young.
Let's see a miracle.
Oh my gosh.
You know, for those people who think that these things only happen online, it's amazing how often they happen in live play.
Absolutely.
Wow. And Juhas, all we're going to be seeing is the back of him for some time.
I think he might have showed a little bit of inexperience here live, you know, and against, you know, a top player like Ben. I think pre-flop.
Absolutely.
And for Roberts, that was, well, it was a one-outer. The one card in the deck, you know, as it turned out. I don't think he doesn't realize it.
Well, the chips can still count for a lot. Experience is nice, but having chips is good.
And 23 players left with 600K. Ben Roberts is, oh, I think he's probably at fourth.
8,000.
Making a return to the feature table, the Camel Keith Hawkins, big smile, 200,000 plus in chips, and talking about before, he's buzzing. I wonder how this, for the rest of the table, Keith Hawkins coming in rather than Juhas. Oh, and Matt Marty's got his chips all in the center.
Okay, it's like 210,000. Alan has King Queen from Belfast. And Marty has a pair of nines.
Well, sounds like Matt Marty's in a race here against the King Queen.
And he's probably got the shortest stack. Like that one.
Touch the flop!
I think a jack is good now too. Is that ace 10 on the board?
ace 10 on the board.
Anything. No punch. No punch. Okay, lower than an ice. No, one more card. That's 4, 3, 7 of hearts.
Marty's surprisingly relaxed in the middle of this pod.
Pay the board. Yeah!
What happened?
We think we think.
Well,
he
fair
did
play to
okay.
Marty. He didn't jump up and down in the guy's face.
Well, down to penalties here for Torres.
Ace 5. Torres is all in with ace 5 against ace queen.
No, like whatever happens here, this guy Torres has made a lot of friends here this week.
And not a good flop. There's 2 diamonds on it. That's going to take one of his outs away.
I don't like it.
Well, you know, a king now. King now would get him out of this. Let's get half the
4.
pot back. The 4, the
An
ace.
The 5.
And he has been a whole lot of fun. There wasn't that much that went right for him tonight that we saw.
No, and you know, he took it well.
Sherwood's gone all in here. Small blind, I think, over the button raise. What do you make of this, Dan?
75.
What do you need to do this with? Or, as you said, he's got to make a play based on chips, yeah.
Well, yeah, but he may be he may be making use of the fact that Keith Hawkins was reminding Sherwood of the last survivor thing, and Sherwood may be trying to turn that to his own advantage here.
Absolutely.
And you know, letting Freeman know that he's still in
Well, he
contention
probably
for the
checked-
last survivor, and he's certainly representing a stronger hand than he's got in the circumstances.
And remember, he checked out Donovan's stack just a little while ago and probably was unhappy to see what Donovan had.
Still pretty gutsy play. I mean, you can see a lot of
It
guys.
kind of gave him the freedom to make that move, didn't it? Which would be
Yes, I agree.
which would be routine enough if there wasn't the last survivor.
The outer tables. Whelan, so sole survivor, has 80,000. Sherwood on 230 or so, and Donovan on 589.
10,000.
I'd say one of the amazing things about this prize is that there's no prize for second. It's a real. It's all the best prizes are winner take all.
Well, I think when the gladiators went into the Colosseum and all that, there was a
Raised
second prize was
26,000.
not very attractive either.
I think, wasn't it Mike Caro, Dan, who sort of came out with this, remember he came out with this sort of idea that he thought all tournaments should become winner take all. And, you know, Didn't go very far. Do you remember that? It was a couple of years ago.
Well, it'll get the numbers down a little.
Call 26,000.
I'm against winner take all in tournaments because, quite frankly, when you have a prize distribution, it causes players to misplay hands and to be going for like 8th place or 7th place or something when they should be going for first.
Well, you might only get 3 stops on the tour if it was winner take all.
Well, that's why the tour directors like the prize distribution.
Ben's raised. James has called. Now, you know, we've seen Ben raised in a similar position before and James re-raise. Obviously.
8, 9, 4. 9.
Well, on the one hand, you kind of think,
You know, like I do know that Ben spent a lot of time teaching his son Jamie over a few years. So I assume Jamie would have passed on a lot of that information to Mr. Mitchell.
a bet and a call, and Ben's obviously supposed to check this all the time, right?
Yes.
Check. Check a bit.
It kind of feels like James is really excited to play a big pot with Ben.
Well, James might feel that he's got more than enough to check. I think they'd both be happy to hear check here.
Well, I think James realizes that Roberts could easily have a king here. He's just checking and calling this situation. So I'd be a little bit surprised. Well, he is making the bet.
Right. 52,000.
It's a third of the pot. It's almost like a bet where he thinks he's going to get called by a worse hand, or
Well, this is a bet that definitely scares Ben because it looks like, please call me, that kind of bet. So Ben gives it a lot of respect.
it's about, you know,
I think he'll give it a lot of respect and then call it.
yeah, but it's just over 10% of Ben's stack. I mean, it's not. It's kind of a weird bet, isn't it?
I don't think James is betting this for value. I think he's
This is
It's puzzling, isn't it?
This is a definitely puzzling bet. If he thinks this is a value bet against Ben, he's crazy.
Right.
Because there is no hand that Ben's going to call that loses to his hand.
Fold.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't realize he bluffed Ben on, and here's what makes the bet so bad. He definitely has to put on Ben, for it to be a bluff, he has to put Ben on 10s,
Sevens,
jacks,
right.
or queens.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And think he's going to make him fold that bet. Because there's no other hand that's folding.